Okay, another update on the World Models Hawker Tempest that I am converting to silver, getting it at least ready for silver racing. So this will probably be one of my final video blogs on this for a while, because I've pretty much got everything done on it that I can at this point until I start actually buying servos and getting the motor and the motor mount and stuff. So I've pretty much done as far as up to the point where I just can't do any more, except for one thing that I'll talk about here in a minute. But let me just go ahead and show you what I've done with the covering here. I went ahead and I just, instead of using the Teflon, that is the brand that the World Models uses, I already had some of the Dove Gray and for Monocoat, and so I went ahead and just used that in place of it, and I'm pretty satisfied with the color. In you see this up in real life, the color, it's pretty close, and besides, it's the belly, and so not as many people are going to see it as much, and it's pretty close. I'm pretty satisfied with it, and I'm a pretty finicky kind of guy. So I've used Monocoat in the past. I'm familiar with it. I already have it. Save a little money, so I'm just going to go ahead and call it good enough. I think it looks great. It adheres well to the Teflon. You can notice I got sunburnt today. Yep, that's what it's about. So yeah, so if it went ahead and ironed on there fine without too much of a problem. I'm satisfied with it. It adheres real well, so it's good enough. So I've got that completed. I went ahead. Obviously, you can see I went ahead and put the decals on, because there's no sense waiting to put those on at this point. Everything that needs to be done up to that is done. I've got the horns that are there. I went ahead and put those on, and they already have spots on the ailerons where you just go ahead and drill them in. I like these horns. These kind, I like them because they're real robust. These are the ones that come with it. So I think these are really good clevises. I'm sorry, horns. So I'm definitely glad that I was able to use those. Let's see, what else have I done? I went ahead. I got the. I had to make a modification on the area here where they give you the spot to put the servo for the landing gear. For some reason, I don't know why they do this, but they always seem to have them where there's too high, because you have to take into consideration the easy connectors that you would install on them, and so it kind of raises the height of everything to the point where if I hadn't made an adjustment on this, the wires would have had to really been like, probably about another ½ inch up or so. It was just, I don't know why when they design these planes they just don't take that into consideration. So I had to go ahead and break out the tabs that they give you for mounting the servo, and had to drop it all the way to the bottom. And once I did that, I made new tabs. I put 30-minute epoxy in there. It's super strong. It's probably stronger than the original set that was in there, and it functions it functions a whole lot better. So that again, I don't think they accommodate. I'm using a HS75BB high-tech retract servo. I already had one sitting around, didn't have to buy another one. So but this isn't the first time I had to do this with an ARF, so I'm sure others had to do that as well, just to get it to where you can drop that servo down at least another maybe quarter to almost ½ inch farther down. So once I put that in, I went ahead and just stuck a receiver on there and ran it, and it only took me about 5 minutes to get it all dialed in. So the retracts they function great, no problem. It's the fastest I've ever done that before. It was almost freakishly fast how easy it was. I must be getting better at it. Here's one issue: is I was intending to go ahead and I wanted to have the flaps on there, but one thing I've noticed is when I was playing with the flaps is there is a lot of play on here. Let's see if I can show it. Where let's see here. Well, I'll hold this here, but you'll notice that there's a lot of play, even though I'm not really moving the armature. It's staying, but this is still moving quite a bit. I'm not happy with that. Being with the silver plane, I don't want this thing flopping around. So my original intent, the other thing I could do would be to open it up and put a servo tray in there, and then do a dual servo system for flaps, and that is just way overkill for this. I don't want to put that kind of time into a racer. So most people have said, you know, you don't need the flaps, just go ahead and glue them. So looks like I'm going to be taking that route. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pull this out, and maybe clip these off. And my question is the best thing to do just to go ahead and, in order to secure these, you'll notice that the split flap is when it's up and level, the gap, there's no gap, it closes up. So should I just take an X-Acto blade and cut back the covering, and then use like just CA or just a light coat of 30-minute epoxy, and just close it up? Now, if I close that up, I'm hoping I shouldn't have to worry about filling the bevel in for the flaps. I don't know, you guys can tell me about it if you've had to do that in the past. But that's the route I'm going to take on the wings. So other than that, once I get the ailerons, the wing's done. Moving on to the fuselage, went ahead and fiberglass, 3-ounce fiberglass, and field-proofed the firewall, every part except here, because again I don't have the motor mount yet. So I need, before I commit anything to that, I need to wait until I get a motor mount, and then I can go ahead and field-proof it, and the same thing goes for the inside as well, in case I have to, like, for some odd reason, cut that this portion of the firewall and recess it back due to the motor mount being too long or whatever it may be. So I'll hold off on that, but this part's all done. I went ahead, got some of that adhesive that you were telling me about, Jimmy, and got that and glued the canopy on there. I got the pilot glued in, gave him a little bit of a beard there. I just took a little piece of plywood, put it in there, painted it black just to elevate them up just a hair, and it looks real scale. A nice fitting touch to the plane. Got the switch here. Again, it's not permanent because I have not field-proofed the inside of the plane yet. I'll hold off on that until I get the fuel tank squared away. I know where everything's sitting before I start field-proofing the inside of this. It's an MPI switch wire harness. I love these things. They are so easy to put in, and they've got the little gauge on there that tells you when the battery is low. So I mounted this one upside down, so that way at least when it's on, the switch is in the back position. I don't know if you have to worry about air. If I would have had it twisted right side up, this would have been the on, and I would have been, I don't know, I just have this paranoid delusion that the going across, the wind would push it off or something. So I just flipped it upside down. Nope, it doesn't matter. It's not going to make any big difference on there. So that portion's all done. I went ahead too and soldered up the Y connection for the elevator. So it's all done. Again, those control surfaces are in. And I could not use 440 wire on the rudder because it's a little bit, the tube for it is a little thinner or a little smaller than the other one, so the 440 would not push freely through, so I had to go to 256. I'm not going to worry about that because, again, it's rudder, and I'm not going to be using it. The only time I'm using it for taxiing, so that shouldn't be a problem at all. Trying to think if there's anything else at this point, but you know what? It's pretty much, you know, the construction of this was just so stinking easy. I mean, if you needed to get this, you know, a plane ready to go in less than a week, this would be the one to do it if you had all the parts ready to go. It's so stupidly simple to get this thing up and together without too much of a hitch. So I anticipate the next video blog you see of this will not be until probably September. September, maybe October at the latest. That's when I should be able to get the motor and everything and get that fired up and start getting some flights on it. So there you go. I hope you enjoy.